there. Welcome back to The Independent, where we welcome back author, jurist, mentor, and super guru, Judge Andrew Napolitano. I was thinking of Apollonia from Prince.
Super guru?
Yeah,
that's a new
guru.
one.
Yeah, the super guru. Well, that's how we think of it. He's also a Fox's senior judicial analyst, which makes him amazing. All right, the heads of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees made the Sunday morning rounds tying Edward Snowden to Russia or some other formal nation state. They're saying he didn't act alone. Someone or some group put him up to the leaking. Is there any evidence of this?
Well, there's no evidence of this that's been revealed, and it's highly inappropriate for members of the government to make allegations like this without revealing any evidence to substantiate it. But these two members of Congress have been the cheerleaders for the NSA from the beginning of their tenure in their respective positions. Each is chair of the Intelligence Committee, Senator Feinstein in the Senate and Congressman Rogers in the House. And in their minds, the NSA can do no wrong, and they each have said that Edward Snowden is a traitor, or words to that effect. They each have very, very little credibility in this area because they are so blindly in favor of what the NSA does. I'll tell you a story about Congressman Rogers, who's a former FBI agent. He was interrogating General Keith Alexander, the head of the NSA. And this was right after the revelations came back. Question, Congressman Rogers. General Alexander, does the NSA have the ability to capture the content of phone calls? Answer, General Alexander. No, sir. We don't have that authority. Now, in a courtroom, a judge would say, wait a minute. Answer the question that was put to you. Unless the judge was in cahoots with the witness to mislead the tribunal before which the testimony was given, which is exactly what Congressman Rogers was trying to do. Congressman Rogers must think that we would all fall for that stunt. Many people in the media did. Many people on the House committee over which he was the chair did. A lot of us did not.
Okay, now here's my thing. If you have Feinstein and Rogers out there saying that a guy who worked for the NSA was really a spy, then how crappy is the NSA if they employed a spy? I mean, all they've done since the Snowden leaks is talk about how he's a dropout, how he's a good-for-nothing, idiot. Why would you employ someone like that? Why would you give someone access to this kind of information?
They won't answer a question like that. They also can't address this. Snowden has said, because he was fearful of being kidnapped by the CIA or American intelligence forces wherever he went, he didn't bring any of this with him. He didn't bring it to Hong Kong, and he didn't bring it to Moscow. So it is so simplistic to think that because he's in Moscow, the Russians have what he has. What he has is not physically with him. It is elsewhere, either in the United States or in Great Britain, and timed to be released. This is not anything new to me. I don't have any personal knowledge of this, but this is what he has said. He would be insane to, first of all, it's 1.7 million pages of documents. You might be able to get that into one of those keys, but he would be insane to bring that key with him.
Yeah. Judge, there was a piece in the New Republic, the sort of flagship for progressive liberalism in this country, that was titled, "Would you feel differently about Snowden, Greenwald, and Assange if you knew what they really thought?" And inside, some of the things that we learned that they really thought is that Ron Paul is an okay guy, that the gold standard might happen, and that sometimes Glenn Greenwald works with Cato Institute. What do you see out there, like the reaction to Snowden, that kind of hysterical reaction and guilt by association? What does that say about the people who are propagating it, whether they're in government or whether they're in journalism?
They are fans of big government, and they are losing this battle because Snowden is gaining more and more popularity. He is immensely popular with young people and on college campuses today. You know this. And the more we learn about this, the more we are indebted to him. I will tell you a very brief story. Right in this very studio, I had a tete-a-tete with Ray Kelly, the former police commissioner, over civil liberties. And as soon as the camera went off, he said, I love when we disagree. And I certainly disagree that the NSA should be reined in. But I'm glad that Snowden revealed it. It's just way too much for us not to know it. I run the biggest police department in the country, and I didn't know about this. So he is gaining popularity in corners that one would least expect.
And with the American people, too. I mean, they're certainly more curious, and, you know, the tide of public opinion is flowing in his favor.
Yes.
And Judge Nat, what would you say to folks who've said Snowden should come back to the United States and face justice? What obligation does he have to obey a law that may in fact be unjust? He has uncovered the fact that the United States government was apparently lying about what they were actually doing.
I think it will be impossible for him to get a fair trial. The Espionage Act of 1917, which was written by Woodrow Wilson to suppress free speech, has rarely been used, and that is since World War I, and that is the instrument under which he's been indicted. Since then, the Congress has enacted legislation that will make it impossible for him to confront the evidence against him and discuss it openly in a jury, that will require all kinds of secrecy between him and his lawyer, things his lawyer can learn that he can't, and things that the judge and the jury and the prosecution can learn that he and his lawyer cannot. It will be impossible for him to get a fair trial. Nor do I expect that any president in the present age would have the courage to pardon him.
All right. Thank you very much, Judge.
Pleasure.
We'll
guys.
see you again. Many questions. All right.
Pleasure.
Great.
I would pardon him, but I don't expect to be president.
Don't rule anything out.
Seriously.
Work on that.
It's an interesting election season. We'll see how the midterms go. All right.